December 16th, 2012. A cold night in the capital, New Delhi. A white bus drives along a deserted road. On the outside, it looks like a normal form of public transport. But inside, hell is breaking out. A 23-year-old medical student and her boyfriend have just left a movie theater. They just wanted to catch a bus home. But the bus never took them home. For nearly an hour, the young woman was brutally raped by 6 sadists. In the dim light of a city, in the middle of a city that is supposed to be civilized. When they were thrown from the car, people found them. When her body was taken to the hospital, doctors were in tears. And when the whole of India heard about it, it was no longer a case. It was a national outrage. It was not just a case that killed a girl. It made an entire system look at itself. Let's take a closer look at the shocking case. Right now. The girl is known throughout the country by a single name, Nirbhaya, meaning the fearless one. Her real name has never been revealed, as Indian law requires sexual assault victims to be anonymous. But the name Nirbhaya has become a symbol of courage, of pain, and of the desire for justice. Nirbhaya was born in 1989 to a poor family in the state of Uttar Pradesh. The family moved to Delhi to build a new life. She is a medical student, majoring in physiotherapy. Her father is an electrician, her mother is a housewife. They spent all their money on her education, hoping that their daughter would become a doctor and have a different future. Nirbhaya is not only talented but also optimistic, gentle, and loves life. She once dreamed of opening a small clinic for the poor. 6 men boarded the white bus that day. They were Ram Singh, the driver, the mastermind; Mukesh Singh, Ram's younger brother; Vinay Sharma, a gym attendant; Pawan Gupta, a baker; Akshay Thakur, a migrant worker; a teenager under 18, his identity not revealed. They were all working class, slum dwellers with little education. But the horror was not poverty. It was their moral emptiness and their irrational hatred of modern women, those who dared to love, to study, to be free. That night they did not just hunt. They created a nightmare that would last for an entire nation. An ordinary evening in Delhi became the prelude to an unprecedented tragedy. On the night of December 16th, 2012, Nirbhaya had no idea that a weekend movie trip with her boyfriend would turn out to be fateful. She and her boyfriend, a software engineer, left a movie theater in the Saket area at around 8:30 p.m. They walked down the street, trying to find a ride home. At that moment, a white, unmarked bus pulled up. A man stuck his head out and shouted, "This is the bus to Dwarka. Get in, quick!" The bus was not a public vehicle, but a private one driven by Ram Singh. They used it to pick up workers, but at night, it became a predatory trap. Little did they know that the 5 men and a teenager inside were planning a sick game to punish girls who go out at night like Nirbhaya. According to later investigations, the group used white buses to travel around the city, luring and robbing passers-by, especially women traveling alone or young couples. The police had received several reports of missing persons and robberies in similar vehicles but did not investigate further. They did not have adequate traffic cameras, and there was no data on private vehicles operating illegally at night. The car passed dozens of police stations but was not checked. The perpetrators were confident. They had done this many times before and never been caught. As for Nirbhaya, she was just a girl who wanted to go home. There was no conflict, no warning, no enemies. But there was one thing that had been waiting for a long time: hatred of modern women. Around 8:45 p.m., December 16th, 2012, on a white bus circling the South Delhi Expressway, the vehicle rolled, the interior lights dim. Nirbhaya and her boyfriend took the middle seats. After a few minutes, they sensed something was wrong. The windows were closed. There were no other passengers but 6 men staring at them. Suddenly, one of them stepped forward. He yelled, "You're taking this woman out in the dark? Is she a prostitute?" Her boyfriend reacted and was immediately hit in the head with an iron rod. Blood gushed out. He was dragged to the floor of the car, beaten with iron rods, kicked in the face, in the chest. Nirbhaya screamed. She tried to run away but was grabbed by the hair, pulled back, and her head was smashed against the side of the car. In the suffocating darkness, 6 men brutally raped her, not just with their bodies, but with the torture rod. One end of the rod was pushed into her body. Her internal organs were torn. Blood covered the floor of the car. She bled, suffered, but did not die. One of them said, "This one is still breathing. Throw her away." Both of them, she and her boyfriend, were stripped naked, dragged and thrown from the moving car onto the road. The car continued rolling into the night. The trip ended. The nightmare began. Around 9:45 p.m. Mahipalpur area, near Delhi Airport. It was a deserted, dusty stretch of road with dim streetlights. A couple was riding their motorbike home when they suddenly stopped. On the sidewalk were 2 naked, bloodied bodies, lying motionless. The man panicked and took out his phone to call the police. The woman was silent, only saying, "They're still breathing." The local police arrived at the scene after more than 45 minutes. During that time, many cars drove by without stopping. Some taxi drivers refused to take the 2 victims to the hospital because the blood would stain the car. When the police arrived, they did not have blankets or stretchers. Nirbhaya was wrapped in plastic and placed in the jeep, like a wounded person. Her boyfriend was also carried up, with a bloody head and a broken arm. At Safdarjung Hospital, doctors were shocked to see the severity of her internal injuries. Nirbhaya was still conscious. In her weak breaths, she recounted the whole incident, describing every face, every action. There were 6 people. They beat him. They stabbed an iron bar into my stomach. I wanted to live. Her account was the first clue for the police to expand their investigation, and also the first stab into the heart of an entire country. Police returned to the scene where the victim was dumped on the road. They found a blood-stained iron bar thrown on the side of the road, unusual tire tracks that did not match the route of a public bus, bloodstains that stretched for several meters on the road. At the same time, the forensic doctor who examined Nirbhaya's body confirmed her internal organs were severely damaged. Her small intestines had been pulled out of her body. The injuries could not have been caused by an accident. They were intentional and extremely brutal. This forensic report shocked both the medical and judicial professions. Based on Nirbhaya's chillingly accurate account, the police narrowed down the area. A white private bus with fake number plates which often ran at night. A blurry traffic camera that showed the bus passing through multiple checkpoints without being checked. After more than 24 hours of searching, the police found the bus hidden in a parking lot in the Noida area, with blood and hair still on the seat. They tracked down the owner and arrested Ram Singh, the driver. After being arrested, Ram Singh confessed to all his accomplices. Mukesh Singh, his younger brother, who was driving the car when he committed the crime. Vinay Sharma, Pawan Gupta, Akshay Thakur were arrested later. The 17-year-old boy was arrested separately. His identity was kept secret. The confession left the police and the public in disbelief at the cold-bloodedness of this group of people. We did it to teach her a lesson. What kind of girl would dare to go out with a boy at night? Before the case could go to court, Ram Singh was found hanging in his Tihar jail cell. His family said it was suicide. Some say he was murdered to silence him, but the truth remains unclear. The police, under pressure from the public, completed the case in just 18 days, an unprecedented record in the history of Indian criminal justice. 17th December 2012. Just a day after the incident, the Delhi police declared, "We will not let this case die down. The whole world is watching." The government set up a special court to try the case quickly. All 5 adult defendants were charged under the most severe provisions: gang rape, torture and murder, conspiracy to murder and destruction of evidence. The 17-year-old, being underage, was tried under juvenile law. Nirbhaya's parents, Badranath Singh and Asha Devi, were present at all the hearings. Every time they heard the prosecutor read out the testimony, recalling every detail, they could not hold back their tears. I gave birth to my daughter with so much hope. But when I saw the autopsy photos, all I was left with was a pool of blood and wounds. In September 2013, The Delhi High Court announced the 4 accused were sentenced to death by hanging. The reason? The case falls into the rarest of rare categories, unimaginable brutality. As for the teenager, he was sentenced to only 3 years in a correctional facility. He was released in 2015. This caused outrage across society. A series of protests calling for changes to the juvenile law took place across India. Although sentenced to death in 2013, it was not until 2020, after dozens of appeals and requests for clemency, that the sentence was carried out. March 20th, 2020, at 5:30 a.m. at Tihar jail. 4 criminals hanged at the same time. The nation erupted. Nirbhaya's mother said, "My daughter has finally got justice." People lit candles all over Jantar Mantar, remembering Nirbhaya's name and the pain she left behind. The Nirbhaya case is more than a rape case. It is a mirror of society. It has forced a country of more than 1.3 billion people to confront painful questions. Why should women be afraid of the dark? Why should victims prove their innocence? Why are perpetrators repeatedly convicted and often get away with it? The Criminal Law Amendment Act 2013 introduced tougher laws on rape, harassment, acid attacks, and more. The Nirbhaya Fund was set up to support victims of gender-based violence. The Justice for Nirbhaya movement has spread, bringing to light thousands of stories that were once hidden. And most importantly, the girl, who is never referred to by her real name, has become a symbol of courage. Nirbhaya did not die in silence. She spoke when she was no longer strong enough. She remembered every detail, and from her hospital bed she recounted everything because she wanted those people to be punished. Her mother said she didn't cry. She didn't ask why this happened. She just said, "Mother, I want to live." And finally, in a society where women still have to fight every day for respect, Nirbhaya is no longer alive, but she has awakened a generation. There are deaths that hurt us. There are deaths that change us. And there are deaths that open the eyes of a whole country. If you feel this story needs to be heard, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and join us in continuing our journey to expose the truth, so that no one is silenced. For justice, for truth, for those who cannot speak for themselves.